Okay, so quick rapid fire. Are you ready for a dog? Are you in the right environment? What sort of dog are you looking for? Are you looking to adopt or rescue? What sort of personality are you looking for? And specifically, what not to do. Before you buy or adopt a dog, there is some really important things to consider because getting a dog is a life-changing decision. So I made the mistake of getting a dog before I was actually ready. I missed out some really important things and I'm going to share those with you so you don't make the same mistakes I did. The very first thing that I would consider is, are you in the right environment to actually have a dog? What sort of environment do you live in? Because I got a dog in Cambodia, and Cambodia, I didn't realize this at the time, is probably one of the hardest places to raise a dog successfully. There's not much structure here and it's absolutely chaotic. And dogs don't normally do well in chaos unless they're really, really genetically confident. There's so much randomness that happens, it takes very specific dogs, or you need to raise them perfectly in order to be able to get them to their full potential. So that's the very first thing I would consider. What sort of environment are you in, and is it suitable for the type of dog that you want? So while there's nothing wrong with living in an apartment and having a dog, it's probably about more choosing the right dog. So if you are really determined to have something like a bloodhound or a husky, apartment living, Oreo, go. Apartment living probably isn't the best choice for that specific dog. Good point. So making sure you have a right suitable environment to raise the sort of dog you want would be the very first thing that I would consider, and how busy of a lifestyle you have and can you put a dog into that. Choosing what sort of dog you would like is the next stage in this. Would you like a puppy? And what sort of breed are you looking at? As I said before, I live in Cambodia. So I work with a lot of ex-street dogs and a lot of pagoda dogs. Their genetics are very, very different than someone like Oreo. Good boy, buddy. Who was specifically bred to work alongside people. He's a Cocker Spaniel mix with Poodle or Aussie Shepherd. He's an Aussie Poodle Doodle thing. So as I mentioned before, if you're in an apartment, bloodhound's probably not a good idea. Neither is a husky. While it can work, just something you're sort of setting yourself up to have a harder life and more likely to have failure, because they're both very, very noisy dogs. Their genetic fulfillment would come more naturally to a larger plot of land. The next stage is choosing the age of your dog. Puppies are a tremendous amount of work, and all dogs are, but puppies specifically are a tremendous amount of work and require a lot of patience. And realistically, you are looking at about 2 or 3 years of investment, time and energy in order to get them to the stage where they're an adult and they start to actually become a much calmer dog. And then, do you have the time to actually raise a puppy? That's the other thing, because if you get a puppy, if you leave them alone for 8 hours a day, that is going to cause some major issues. So you would need to think about dog walkers or a dog trainer to come in over and helping you guys out. What are you doing, buddy? Whereas an older dog can settle much, much quicker. And to be honest, I do think older dogs are just an easier way to go, because you already know what their personality is like, depending on the breeder or the rescue. If they're both good, they'll give you a full description of their personality and they would have tested that out. And that is also something else to think about. Are you looking to buy or are you looking to adopt? My opinion on this has changed a lot over the last 2 years since I have been working with more and more street dogs, or people that have taken in street dogs, and I've seen the problems they actually have. Genetics play a huge role in a dog's development. Huge. Half, in my opinion, don't know the actual statistic, but in my opinion, half of what makes up a dog is their genetics. For I worked with a lot of street dogs, their genetics are very, very different than what a standard Labrador would be, for example. And the street dogs their genetics are very much survival of the fittest, independence, resource guarding, or even anxiety, which can be passed down genetically. because that's what keeps them safe and that's what keeps them alive. They also weren't bred for a specific purpose, as far as I'm aware. So they have mainly just spent the last couple hundred years just breeding and surviving, maybe like hundreds of years, just breeding and surviving and getting by. If you do decide to get a street dog, that is very much something to consider. In my opinion, while I do fully support rescues, and I think rescues are amazing, I do think there is a place in the dog world for breeding strong, confident, genetically sound dogs. If we started to actually, anyway, I'm going to go off on a tangent on that. I would love to do a video on that. Are you looking to adopt or are you looking to buy? And if you are looking to buy, you do need to have a very, very good breeder for the specific dog you're looking for. I believe there's registers on certain countries and stuff. Here, there's just not. Oreo, hey buddy, good boy. So there are specific breeders and stuff like that, registered breeders, and they should be able to give you a family heritage line. They should know the dogs incredibly well. So with breeding, it's really easy to go wrong with that. There are a lot of puppy mills and backyard breeders that don't really know what they're doing. They don't know about the most... Oh yeah, this way. Good. They don't know about the critical socialization period. Oh yeah. Good. They don't know about the critical socialization period, and they don't socialize with puppies, and they can have a massive imprint on the 4 to 16 week of their life. So it's quite easy to go wrong with that. Rescues, while I do fully support rescues, there's a lot of shit rescues. They'll lie about the breed, they'll lie about the personality and the temperament just to get the dog gone. And that it does way more harm than good, because the dog's more likely to end up somewhere else or even returned. However, a good rescue will be able to give you time to spend, hang out with the dog, see what they're like. And also they should have tested them in many different situations to see how they actually react. So I do think there's a place for both, but you need to do your research, make sure the rescue's not lying to you, and you know what you're getting. And as I mentioned, oh, is that a dead bird? Oh, good boy, buddy. You left a dead bird. Right, so the very last thing. Is this the last thing? Yes, so. So the last thing I would really consider after all of that is, what breed are you looking for? Or do you not care about breed? To me, it's, if you swap the word breed for personality, that should help give you a massive insight into what you're looking for. Way too often we go purely off of aesthetics, and that causes more problems than what it solves. For me, I have a street dog. Oreo is not mine, and as you can see, he's very, very good off lead. So what specific breed are you looking for, or what personality are you looking for is more important. And while I fully advocate dogs from rescues, personally, I would not get another street dog unless I know the rescue and I know that dog very, very well. If you are interested in adopting a dog from overseas, I fully support you. But you are pretty much playing the lottery in what genetics you're going to get. And because of that, I would have no expectation of what the dog's going to be like. And I would just you'd have to just deal with that as it goes. And you'd really have to embrace them who they are. Whereas something like a Labrador, you'd never know what genetics you're going to fully get, because every dog is an individual. You have a much more high chance of the dog enjoying playing fetch. You have a higher chance of them having a high food drive. You have a higher chance, depending if they're a working line, how much energy they're going to have. Doing your research into the breed, I think that's probably one of the most important things you can do, but I wouldn't get too hung up on the specific dog. And I'll be quite open to the dog's personality. And when you know, there's an expression saying you get the dog you need, not the one you want. I do hope you enjoyed this video with me and Oreo. Yeah, good boy. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I am on the way to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm looking to help as many dogs as I can in Cambodia, but I need your support in able to do that. So if you found this video helpful, please just either share it or subscribe, and we can get this ball rolling to help as many dogs as possible.